What is up, YouTube? And this is Jay Wolf, and how you doing? Sorry about my voice. I'm a little sick, but I'm going to get right into this right now. Okay, I've got something funny as heck for you guys. Racist bees. That's right. You did not misread the title of my video. Racist bees have struck in America. This is like serious stuff, guys. Don't laugh. This is serious, okay? This is a credible lady who's reported this, all right? Her name is Darnell Bird McPherson. McPherson? I hope I'm saying that properly. She's a mayor, college graduate. She's a member of our government and deserves your respect. And nobody should be racist and program bees to put pollen on her car. I am appalled at this story. No, I can't even say it with a straight face. I'm trying to be serious and do that type of shtick. I was really trying to, but I can't even do that. This is the most ignorant piece of. I mean, it's ridiculous. This lady. So she gets up in the morning. There's two different news outlets that covered this. One is the Washington Post, or the Washington Times, excuse me. And another one was Newsweek. You know. And Newsweek takes her seriously. This is what's scary. Newsweek takes her seriously. Newsweek is the mayor of the South Carolina town believes she was the target of a hate crime after cars belonging to her and her husband were dusted with a mysterious yellow sticky substance. Locals and state police investigated the claims made by Lamar's mayor, Darnell Bird McPherson, excuse me, who reported that on February 7th at 10 p.m. local time, someone sprayed her 2017 Symphony Silver Honda Elantra Sports and her husband's soft-top 1998 Buick Roadmaster with a residue outside their home. The material, she remembered, got in all of the grooves of her husband's gray sedan. The mayor had recently returned to her home from a meeting in a large city of Harvestville, about 22 miles north of Lamar. My husband went out to the car to get some things out of the garage, she told Newsweek. He says somebody painted your car. So he says someone painted her car. They go on. She recalled that the couple's neighbor, the couple's neighbor who had stopped by in his van to pick up some laundry, also chimed in. Darnell, there's something on your car. She remembered him saying they started rubbing it and it was this yellow sticky substance. So it was like, what is this? All right, so I'm not going to read the whole article. It's in Newsweek. You guys can check it out. I will try to leave a link in the description below. But Newsweek takes her very seriously. They go on to mention that the police do say that it was pollen. They turn it over to a hate crime specialist. Now the Washington Times covered it too, which is funny. The mayor of a small South Carolina town remains adamant that she was targeted by a hate crime despite police determining that the yellow substance found over the car was pollen. Darnell Bird McPherson, the mayor of Lamar, told Newsweek that she filed a police report on February 7th claiming that the yellow sticky substance had been found all over her and her husband's cars. I likened it as a hate crime because, number one, there's a history in our town of Lamar, she said. In the statement to the local ABC affiliate, Miss McPherson claimed that during the 1970s, crosses were burned in her yard in the yard of our home when my mother was involved with the civil rights movement on this very same corner in this very same front yard. Okay, First of all, a couple things come to mind because I have a bit of a detective's mind. I used to watch a lot of detective shows. I don't anymore because I always figure it out in like the first 5 minutes, and it bugged the crap out of my ex-wife, and then bugged the crap out of my roommates, and it bugs the crap out of my mom because at the end of the show they're like, "You watch this," and I'm like, "It's a new episode. How did I watch it?" But it's just because writing, people are lazy in writing, and there's only 7 basic storylines, so you can always tell what's going on. And true enough that doesn't come out in real life a lot of the time. So I'm looking at this, and it seems to me, right? She states, I likened it as to a hate crime because crosses were burned in her yard in the 1970s, right? Okay, let's do a little math. I'm gonna count up by 10. Let's see if I can do it, guys. I'm not that smart. Let's see if Jay Wolf can do it. 70, 80. Jay Wolf was born 5 years after that. 90, 2000, 2010. Wow, this is 2018. If my math's correct, that's 80, 90, 2000, 2010. That's 40 years, right? And she 8 more. It's 48. If I'm correct, that's almost half a century ago. I get that when you were a little girl, traumatic crap happened to you. But check it out. I'm 35 years old, and that happened, what this incident you're talking about happened 15 years before I was even born. And honey, I'm old enough to run for president now. Not that I ever could, but I'm just saying. I looked into this because, Ben Shapiro should run for president. I'm just saying. He's old enough now. I don't know why the man won't, but he needs to. He'd be refreshing. He'd be amazing. I'd love to see him in office. But that's why I said, I'm saying, look, people have been born since that incident that are now old enough to run for president. It is about time to get over yourself. It's pollen on your car. Pollen from a bee. So the only way why people put that pollen on your car is if they genetically engineered the bees. Now, I'm not Alex Jones, but that sounds like some good old Illuminati conspiracy stuff right there. Jesus Christ. But what makes me mad is it goes on in the article to say that the police, because she kept being adamant about it, had to turn it over to Sledge. So not only did the police have to waste time, resources, and money on this frivolous accusation against a nobody, and she states that she knew somebody, right? She states that she knew somebody that she thinks might have done it. So she's already blaming a completely innocent person in her head. She's a mayor of a town, so she has authority. So she forces these police officers to investigate it. They turn it over to Sledge as a hate crime, and then the hate crime division has to frickin', if I'm saying that right, I hope I said the acronym right. And then they say, okay, it's not a hate crime. It's pollen. It's pollen on your car. What gets me mad too is this woman just admitted she's lived in the South for 48 years. I've only been back to the South for about 6 or 7 months. When my grandma moved back there, me and my mom helped her move back there. I was in Oklahoma, and your cars get lathered in pollen. And if you're from the South and you're listening to me, or if you've been from the South, you know this. This is just a common fact. Your cars get lathered in pollen. So you're telling me this over 48-year-old woman who's been to college, who is a mayor of a town, who has lived in Lamar most of her life, because she said in that same house, and that sounds like she's lived in that house most of her life, doesn't know that your cars get littered with pollen in the springtime? Huh. Well, I am just completely adamant here. This woman is running a town, but she doesn't know that bees make pollen in spring and it gets all over your car. I'm sorry, not bees. Bees spread pollen. They don't make pollen in the spring, and it gets all over your car. She doesn't realize that. she doesn't get that the wind and bees and air spreads pollen from the trees that impregnate all the other little things. And unfortunately, back in, before man created all this, God created everything. And, there was a purpose. All that pollen needed to get everywhere, but now it gets stuck on our houses and our cars and our windows. And yeah, especially in the South where it's a lot more rural and there's a lot less big cities. You know what I'm saying? But even here in Sacramento, because we're the city of trees, we have that same issue. And it's really interesting how people do this, how they think that it's okay to make these frivolous accusations. She had to, at some time, know that she was wrong. She had to, at some point, figure out that she was wrong, whether it was immediately, whether it was when the police told her what it was, whether it was when she pushed it and the other agency did. But instead of deciding to own it and apologize and be a dutiful public servant, no, she's going to push the subject and continue to maintain that some white person engineered some bees that know how to target black people's cars. And all I'm saying is if that white person exists, I don't give a crap if they're racist. We need to get them in the CIA, in the NSA, and we need to use this person because, damn, that's some good old chemistry and biology going on over there. Anyways, I've been Jay Wolf. You've been listening to me. Please like and subscribe. God bless, and thank you so much for supporting me. Oh, also, I have a Patreon page now. I'm still kind of working on it. I don't get Patreon completely. I will try to put a link to it in the description. It is patreon.com/jwolf35. I believe that's my Patreon link. So thank you guys so much. Again, like, subscribe, and I hope to hear from you in the comments section. Thank you guys. Bye.